Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Sachs. Welcome to the Speak to Influence podcast. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that every single one of us do. We become defensive. Now, we don't think we're doing it. We think that we're just explaining a little bit, or maybe we are helping to clarify a point. But the truth is, we're becoming defensive. And defensive has a very high cost in all aspects of our relationships, both business and personal. Hey, Bobby, welcome. I'm glad you're with me tonight. So, why is being defensive a problem? Because because of the way that we handle it. Now, first of all, the reason that we're defensive is because that ancient part of our brain says, hey, I'm being attacked. If I'm attacked verbally, then maybe the next thing I'll do is being attacked physically, of being rejected. In ancient times, it always was better to be part of a community as opposed to being a lone wolf, because lone wolf could have a problem being um, attacked by other creatures. So the ancient part of our brain kicks in and we start to defend ourselves. So, what does defensiveness really look like? It means that we raise our voice, we explain too much, we interrupt, we start justifying our behavior, we feel that we're correcting instead of listening. When the truth is, the person that we think is attacking us is really probably just either number one, not very good at communicating. And so what they're trying to say isn't coming out in quite the way that they want it to come out. Or they're just not too savvy at what they want to do. 99% of the time, people are not attacking us. It is the way that we are perceiving it because of that ancient part of our brain. Successful communicators respond differently. They seek to influence the conversation. They seek to understand what exactly is the root of the conversation, because they know that you're probably not really trying to attack me. So let's figure out what you are trying to communicate. One of the things that people have a tendency to do when they defend themselves is they start trying to justify. Well, if I didn't have ADD, I wouldn't be like this. Or, well, if I had just had an opportunity to go to college. Those things are irrelevant. We want to make sure that we're attacking the problem, not the person. And likewise, understand that there is a problem that they want to discuss, and it has nothing to do with us personally. So that ADD or that lack of college or whatever justification we're trying to give is not necessary. Hey, Nisha, thanks for joining me live tonight. I appreciate you being here. We're talking about the high cost of being defensive and why people do it, how they do it, and what they can be doing instead. So, with everyone becoming defensive and that ancient part of our brain coming out and trying to defend us, to protect us from a fear of being rejected, of protecting our ego, of being misunderstood. The biggest one, fear of looking incompetent, or just past criticism, either from that same person or from someone in our past, a partner, a friend, a parent, who makes us more sensitive to when we feel attacked. Those are some of the reasons why we become defensive. And when we become defensive, we fall into 8 categories of here's what we do. Number 1, we feel the need to explain too much. There's a part of you that says, well, maybe if I wasn't clear, maybe if I just clarify with a whole lot more information, it will somehow rectify the situation. And that's usually not the case. You shouldn't be explaining. You should stop and you should be listening to find out what the real root of the conversation is. Another thing we have a tendency to do is to raise our voice a little bit. We feel like they're not hearing us. So there's something unconscious that says, well, if I just talk a little bit louder or a little bit faster, then they'll understand me. That doesn't solve the problem either. When you raise your voice, it makes the other person want to raise their voice. And then they become defensive. And then you have two people butting heads. And that's not solving a problem at all. There's the justifying we just talked about, coming up with excuses of, well, if I had just had this or I hadn't done that. Those are just excuses. They're not reasons. I don't care whether you had a chance to go to college. I don't care if you have ADD. I don't care if you had a bad day. Those are excuses. Those are not reasons for behavior. And so stop trying to justify or blame it on something or someone else. Interrupting is another big thing we do. This goes into, well, they still don't understand it, so I'll jump in and I'll explain it to them. Stop interrupting and start listening. Correcting instead of listening does not solve the problem. It only makes it worse. And the ever popular yes, but, that's normally in the form of an interruption or a justification or placing blame on someone, where they say, yes, but wait, yes, but I. Yes, but only makes you the butt of the joke. The hidden damage that you're causing affects your relationships, perhaps irreparably. And I'm talking about not only your business relationships, but your personal relationships. So whether you're having a problem at work where you feel that you are being attacked, you feel that you are losing credibility, that there are career consequences for your actions and this person's perception of you. Leadership concerns, if somebody is questioning your ability as a leader, if they're questioning your trustworthiness, those are things that need to be addressed. They don't need to be defended. And so by taking just 5 ways to calm your defensiveness, you can seek to correct a problem by listening and addressing in these 5 simple ways. Number 1, pause. Don't react. Be proactive. Pause and listen to what they're saying. Number 2, ask questions. Why do you feel this way? What makes you think that? Number 3, clarify before responding. Before you address the concerns, make sure that you completely understand the concerns. Most importantly, separate feedback from the identity of the person. It's easy when you are being attacked to feel, or that when you feel that you're being attacked, that you want to attack the person back. That is not productive. So take the identity away from the problem and just focus on the feedback that you're getting. Focus on the problem that's being presented to you. And then most importantly, respond. Don't react. Defensive people protect their ego, but great communicators protect the relationship. You are not going to be able to solve every issue that is presented to you. Sometimes other people are having bad days. Sometimes they've misunderstood. Sometimes you've legitimately made a mistake that needs to be addressed. But whatever the situation is, approaching it proactively to save the relationship is always what great communicators do. By reacting, by being defensive, by going on the offensive or going on the defensive is not solving the problem. So remember, pause first, ask questions, clarify before responding, separate feedback from the identity of the person because it's not personal, and respond instead of reacting. Relationships are far more important in the long run, both from a professional and a personal standpoint. You want to make sure that you're protecting those at all costs. And sometimes that means walking away. Sometimes that means taking a 5-minute time out and saying, we're not being productive right now. So let's just pause for a moment and come back in 5 minutes and see if we can address this calmly. If the other person insists on coming at you and doesn't seem to want to fix the problem, seems to want to attack, you're not going to be able to address anything at that time. And so maybe that's where you need to call them out and say, we're not addressing anything right now. We're both too emotional. Let's come back and revisit this. Coming back in 5 minutes with cooler heads usually will make a much more productive time. But in many cases, if you just take those 5 points, pause first, ask questions, clarify before responding, separate the feedback from the personality, and respond instead of react, you'll generally be able to save the relationship and get to the root of the problem. Don't be defensive. The cost is high to you personally and professionally, and it's not worth it. Thanks for coming to see me today. I appreciate you listening, and I hope to see you again soon on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where we're going to talk more about emotional intelligence and the relationships that come from it. Have a great weekend, everyone, and enjoy your bright new week. Bye.